Okay, which do you enjoy more, the sequels or the prequels?
That's so hard. I thought
Mhm.
okay, because I love so many things about the first, but I really love what they did with Ray and like in the post sequels,
The
the
sequels?
sequels to the
Mhm.
original trilogy. Is that what 7 through 9 are? I also really just love Ray, and I don't know. That's a hard one. Okay, I'm gonna have to say the 7, 8, and even as much as I love Anakin and Padme and like that story and Obi-Wan and like Darth Maul and like Tatooine and stuff like that, I'm gonna say episode 7 through 9. I think are probably my favorites. What?
Because
What are you? I don't know. I think
well, yes,
I feel like it's a good. Okay, I don't know why it's my favorite, but you know, like if I had to pick what to go back and watch, I would probably pick episodes 7, 8, and 9. But I also feel like it's a good storyline, and I feel like, and also I really love Adam Driver as Kylo Ren.
Mhm.
I'm such an Adam Driver fan, anyways.
Mhm.
So I don't, I'm gonna say 7, 8, and 9. Do I have specifics as to why? No, I just really love the whole. I just love them. I could watch 7, 8, and
Right.
9 all the time.
So I would choose the sequels as well. I would choose those as well. Uh, now because it's the exact opposite of the prequels to me. Because the prequels, I don't like episode 1 or episode 2, and I kind of like episode 3. But with the
Episode
sequels,
3 is the best.
yeah, but with the sequels, I like episode 7 and 8 and don't like episode 9. So I like more movies in the sequels than I do in the prequels. So I kind of got to go with the prequels for a lot of reasons there. Um,
Why don't
um,
you like episode 9?
oh, because it is. I didn't mention this with when I was talking Attack of the Clones, but it's in the running for one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Episode 9 is like, listen, I remember when I was like, so okay, so you liked Return the Last Jedi then, episode 8. I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay, I did too. I really liked The Last Jedi, and that's a controversial film among Star Wars folk. Like it's like
It really is.
yeah, it split the fandom in half, and I'm getting somewhere with this with episode 9, trust me. But
No, I'm here for it.
because with episode 8, I will admit that it like their portrayal of Luke isn't what I would have done. It's not, but I was like, okay, this is the movie they made. I'm gonna just roll with it and see what happens. But what I liked the most about episode 8 was that going into the movie, everyone was talking about Rey's heritage. Everyone was talking about, is she a Skywalker? Like, is she a Kenobi? Is she a Jinn or whatever? Like, and they say, oh, your parents are nobody. I was like, thank God. Great. We know the Force is in the entire galaxy. It doesn't need to be tied to like 4 families. And the whole point of the movie was let the past die. Let's move on. I say, yes, it was so refreshing to see that. And at the very end with a little boy grabbing the broom with the Force and everything, it's like, finally, we can move on. We can honor the past, but the series is going to get fucking stale if we just revolve around the same 3 or 4 characters and their descendants. And it was thrown to shit in Rise of Skywalker. And I remember the year before it came out, or before the movie came out, you saw the ads and heard Palpatine's laugh. And I was like, Palpatine is back. And I remember thinking this exact same thing. I thought, they better have a damn good reason. Not a good reason, a damn good reason to bring Palpatine back. They didn't even bother giving a reason. It's like, he's back, cloning, dark magic, who knows? It's like, fuck you. That is bullshit. I really loved episode 7. I thought it was great. And episode 8, I liked as well. But the fact that episode 9, I find episode 9 insulting. I find it insulting in 1,000 different ways. Yeah, it made the other 2 movies worse. You know it's bad when it makes the other movies worse. And so, but overall, what I will give the sequels, this was that at least, no, I mean, I guess that's actually, it's completely opposite. What I will give the prequels over the sequels is at least they had a story to tell, because it became very apparent with the sequels that no one had a story. They just wrote one, then wrote a second one, then a third, and tried to tie it together. When at least with the prequels, they had a goal in mind. But they learned
like
from
their mistakes.
So I like the sequels better as films, but as a coherent narrative, that's what I was going to ask. You say you like the story. I don't. What was the story for the sequel? I mean, it's just
You
it
mean the
seemed to
prequels?
be no. I thought you meant the sequels. You like the story?
Oh, like episode 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
I just
because I didn't see much of a story. That's what I'm saying. They kind of just like threw stuff together, hoping it would work. I mean, I don't know. It didn't seem.
yeah, but I
that was
still
my.
feel like it had Han Solo and it had Princess Leia, and then you find out that Kylo Ren is their son, which was like kind of like a plot twist. At least I didn't see it coming. And then like I really don't have good reasons for why I like things, do I? I just love like
some things you can't explain why you like them. Yeah, so
maybe it was so different from the prequels, and it was so different also from like the originals, that it was just like, I don't want to say a fresh take on the Star Wars universe, but it was kind of like, does that make sense? Like, it's not a fresh take because it's all the same universe, but like, I don't know.
I will say that with the sequels, one thing I enjoyed a lot from the sequels is the fact that it looked like Star Wars, because the prequels don't look like Star Wars to me. It doesn't. It looks like a no, because not. So if you look at like what episodes 4, 5, and 6 look like, it was very what's the word I'm looking for? Like brutish, like the architecture and the structures of like the ships and the clothing. It was very bare bones. But in the prequels, it's like fantastical video game shit everywhere. It's like, this is it's futuristic, but it doesn't look like episodes 4, 5, and 6. Episodes 7, 8, and 9 look like episodes 4, 5, and 6. Like just the way people dress and the way the ships look and everything. I like that look a lot better. Like the prequels, like they overdid so much CGI shit that it looked like you're watching a video game cutscene. And so I did appreciate that. I can see that.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So that's why I think it looks
like
more
CGI
like CGI
was becoming like a bigger thing then during the prequel. Like, and they were like, oh, we can do blah blah blah, and we can green screen a lot more. And because I think a lot of 1, 2, and 3 were green screen, weren't they? Like more than. I mean, I don't know how much more, so I can't speak to that. But I feel like a lot of the scenes were green screen, and it was so. And it wasn't like good CGI yet. Like it was good, but it wasn't like what it is now. And so I think that that's the difference too. I think they were able to like change more of the sequels to match the original series, like episodes 4, 5, and 6. But I really love Kylo Ren's story, and I love Adam Driver. I think he's an incredible actor.
Yeah, Adam Driver is probably my favorite part of the sequels as well. Sorry, let me see. Oh, it's not that bad, but that looks like dog shit. That looks terrible. Yeah. And then wait till they pull this stuff out. Hold on, let me see. It's pulling up. Oh, just that shot right there. I mean, it's that is terrible. And so look, it was great for 99, I'm sure, but it didn't age well.
Did it come out in 99?
I'm pretty sure it was 99. Phantom Menace, I'm pretty sure it was 99.
Was it?
Maybe 2001? I mean, it was a long time ago.
It's like my phone knows we're talking about Star Wars. Oh yeah, okay. Episode 2 came out in 2002. So yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
99.
So but yeah, sure. Oh yeah, the green screen and everything. And also it's not just the green screen. The green screen is bad enough itself because there are all these shots of them walking through like these temples, and it's obvious that it's just there's nothing there. And it's hollow. They're not looking at the right thing. Like your actors respond differently when there's an actual environment to when it's just a screen. That's just human nature. You can't help it. And even the design of a lot of the ships, like the Naboo ships, like the yellow ones that are like, it looks nothing like anything you saw in any Star Wars film before that. Like, the TIE fighters are like, like crude looking. And there's like, okay, so this is 20 years before and it looks 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
That doesn't make. And then they had a retcon. It's like, oh well, when the Empire fell, the technology fell apart. And I was like, all right, sure it did, right? It's like if there's one thing we know from warfare, technology always gets better after war.
Yeah.
It always does. It's kind of the number one things.
Well, now that you say that, it's wild because if you think about it, like Hollywood back in the day, like they had to do so much. They had to get so creative because they didn't have technology. So how do you end up like with sets and costumes and designs and like all of it? Like there wasn't a lot of technology back then. I mean, there was, but there wasn't, right? Not compared to today. So now that you say that, thinking about it, yeah, I would agree. It is very like CGI heavy instead of like, I mean, like the costumes are okay. The costumes I think are pretty fairly even across the movies, but the temples and like the scenery and
God damn, man, it's just so sad. It's
but then they redeemed themselves in 7 through 9.
Yeah, 7 through 9 did a lot better job. I think it was just a product of the time, and that CGI was new in 1999. You know, like we just saw this, and like I'm a big proponent of practical effects over CGI effects most of the time. Like CGI is great for 100 different reasons, and when you need to use it, of course, use it, but it should be used in the right time. It doesn't need to be used all the time. And that's like I think a lesson that we learned from episode 1. You know what's a good example of this? Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was the first like big CGI film. Jurassic Park has not aged a goddamn day. You watch Jurassic Park right now, it looks just as good as 1994 because they struck the right balance between practical dinosaurs and, you know, computer dinosaurs. And they did what they did when they needed to do it. And Lucas, it was like, oh, I got, you know, $1 billion on this. I'm going to put all. And the funny thing about that is that the reason that film studios use CGI so much is because it's cheap. Well, it's cheaper than practical effects. You know, you don't need to hire. Yeah, it's 1,000 times cheaper. Well, first, it's just computer images. It's not like materials you have to buy and put together. Second, you don't need to hire like you know, union qualified professionals and safety technicians and stuff. Like people sit in front of a screen and work instead of, you know, having to bring people in hours at a time to build this, take it apart, have makeup teams, have lighting teams, and just it's way easier to use CGI, and that's why people do it because it costs less money and it's a lot quicker. But you know, it looks like shit if you have over reliance on it. So I agree.
Well, especially if you have such like an important cinematic universe where like so many people are invested and so many people love Star Wars, and then you like do something that's like not as good as things you've previously done, and people are like,
I know. It's like they could have done it. They could have done it.
You know, the more I think about this, the more I say I love the prequels, the more I think I just love the sequels. I think that the more we're talking, the more like not my mind is changing, but the more it's now I like can see things that I can't unsee, and I'm like,
that happens.